This is a video lesson for Module 1, Lesson 5. The Lesson 5 learning target is I can compare numbers based on meanings of the digits using the greater than, less than, or equals to symbol to record the comparison. So this lesson is all about comparing numbers, and we're going to be using the tool of a place value chart and our knowledge of different place values to help us compare any numbers to see which one's bigger or smaller or if they're equal. So let's go ahead and go to the first problem here and see how we can use a place value chart to help us compare 3010 and 2010. So to compare these numbers using the place value chart, I'm going to represent each of the different numbers using discs on the place value chart. 3010 I'm going to use red, and then 2010 I'm going to use blue. So for 3010 we know that there are 3000s, and there are 0 110, and 0 1. And then we'll put a little dashed line here to separate the two numbers. And for 2010, we have 2000s, 0 and 110. So from looking at these two values in the place value chart, we know that the thousands place, each one of these discs, so these discs in this column right here, are all equal. They're each worth 1,000. So since 3000 has more thousands discs than 2000, we know that 3000 is the larger number. And so we use the greater than symbol in our number sentence here. So it reads 3010 is greater than 2010. So this is using our place value understanding, recognizing that thousands are bigger than tens. So in this case, the number of tens actually doesn't matter in the number. 2010 and 3010 both have the same amount, but since 3000 is bigger than 2000s, we know that 3010 is larger than 2010. So let's continue by looking at a different number here, or a different example, I should say. In this problem, we're going to be comparing 43,021 and 45,302. So the last problem I used discs to compare. This time I'm just going to use digits. I'm still going to use two different colors to represent each number though. I'm going to use green to represent 43,021 and blue to represent 45,302. So I'm going to put each of the different numbers on the place value chart and separate them with a dashed line. So for 43,021, I know there's a 4 in the 10,000s place, 3 in the thousands, 0 in the hundreds, 2 in the tens, and 1 in the ones. Put a quick little dashed line here between the two numbers. And for the second number, there's a 4 in the 10,000s place, a 5 in the thousands place, a 3 in the hundreds, 0 in the tens, and a 2 in the ones place. So now that I have both of these numbers written down in my place value chart, I want to start at the largest place value that's represented for both numbers, and that is the 10,000s place. So I look at the two numbers in the 10,000s place, and there is 4 and 4. So they both have a 4 in the 10,000s place. So in terms of the number of 10,000s in each of these two different numbers, it's the same. So I can't really make a determination on which one is larger or smaller by only looking at the 10,000s place. I need to move over to the next largest place value, which is the thousands place. So when I look at the top number in green, I see that there are 3 thousands in this number. And when I look at the bottom number, I see there are 5 thousands. So since they were both equal in the 10,000s, and the bottom number has more thousands than the top number, I know that the bottom number is in fact larger. And so on my number sentence up above, I would write 43,021 is less than 45,302. And so you saw the strategy I was using there of starting at the highest place value and comparing, and then moving on if they're the same. So if it's the same, you move on to the next highest place value. Okay. So if the thousands place were the same, we could just keep on moving until we find one that's larger than the next. So one final problem here, we're going to be comparing now three different numbers, and we're going to be placing them in order from smallest to largest. So I'm going to use the same strategy of the place value chart, and I'm going to write out each number in a different color on the place value chart. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So 32,434, 32,644, and 32,534. Going to put some dashed lines between the numbers so we can clearly see the difference between them, other than the colors, of course. And so when we're looking at these numbers, it might be tempting to look over at the ones and say, hey, look, they all have the same number of ones. But we know when we're comparing numbers, we want to start at the highest or the largest place value that's represented in a number. So in this case, once again, that is the 10,000s place. And we look at the 10,000s place, and each number has a 3 in the 10,000s place. So as far as the 10,000s place goes, they're all equal. So far they're all equal. They all have an equal amount of 10,000s in the number. So when that's the case, we move over to the next place value, which is the thousands place. We look at these numbers, and would you look at that? It's exactly the same again. So since they all have the same number of 10,000s and thousands place, we're going to move over to the next largest place value, which is the hundreds place. So it looks like here we have some different numbers in the hundreds place, and I really want to focus on putting them in order from smallest to largest. So I'm going to look at what is the smallest value in the hundreds place. And when I do that, it looks like 4 is the smallest value in the hundreds place. So I know that this number right here is the smallest. So 32,434 is the smallest number. So then I'm looking for the next smallest number, and it looks like 5 is smaller than 6. So I know that this is the second smallest, or just the middle. And that leaves the last one right here with the 6 in the hundreds place being the largest number in the bunch. So if I was going to rewrite or reorganize these numbers using the greater than, less than, or equal to symbols, I would start with, I'll write it down below here. I would start with 32,434 is less than 32,534, which is less than 32,644. And so it goes from the smaller end down here to the bigger end over here. So that does it for lesson 5 of module 1. And so hopefully now you're feeling really comfortable with using a place value chart to compare numbers of different sizes. So you should be ready to answer all the problems in the lesson 5 problem set. But of course, as always, if you get stuck or need a little bit of help, please feel free to come back and rewatch any part of this video to give yourself a little bit of a refresher. So good luck with the problem set, and thanks for watching.